Damn weird. Kraken. Now this one I've heard pronounced kraken or kraken. I remember as a child as kraken because in the story I heard it was described as being named by the sound it made as it broke the ship, as the ship was cracked in half. But I've also seen that the basis of it makes it make sense from the original of kraken because a term from crake, which I will explain that. I'm going to still call it kraken, so you can just start complaining if you want, but maybe it's revenge for how many times I've had to hear it the other way. I've always said, I don't really speak English, I speak American. We've bastardized the hell out of it. The kraken is a legendary sea monster of giant size that's said to dwell off the coast of Norway and Greenland. Authors over the years have postulated that the legend originated from sightings of giant squids that may have grown to 12 to 15 meters in length, about 40 to 50 feet. Think about most of the ships at the time weren't quite that large. The sheer size and fearsome appearance attributed to the kraken have made it a common ocean-dwelling monster in various fictional works. It was first described by Dane Erik Potappedin, I'm sure I got that one wrong, in 1752-53. The English word kraken is taken from Norwegian. In Norwegian, kraken is the definite form of crake, the word designating an unhealthy animal or something twisted, cognate with the English crook and crank. In modern German, crake means octopus, but can also refer to the legendary kraken, or as some would say, kraken. Kraken, although similar to the octopus, only have 7 appendages. In the late 13th century, versions of the old Icelandic saga, Orvar Adr, is an inserted episode of a journey bound for Helluland, Baffin Islands, which takes the protagonist through the Greenland Sea, and here they spot 2 massive sea monsters called Hafgufa, sea mist, and Ligbacker, Heltherback. The Hafgufa is believed to be referred to as being the kraken. After returning from Greenland, the anonymous author of the old Norwegian natural historical work Konungs Skuggisja from around 1250 describes in detail the physical characteristics and feeding behavior of these beasts. The narrator proposed there must only be 2 in existence, stemming from the observation that the beasts also always have sighted in the same parts of Greenland Sea, and that each seemed incapable of reproduction, as there was no increase in their numbers. Carl Linnaeus classified the kraken as a cephalopod, designating the scientific name Microcosmos marinus in the first edition of his Systema Naturae, 1753, a taxonomic classification of living organizations. The creature was excluded from later editions of his work. Fauna Suecica, 1746, calls the creature singular monstrum, a unique monster. It is said to inhabit the seas of Norway. Kraken were also extensively described by Bishop of Bergen in his book The First Attempt at Natural History of Norway. He made several claims regarding kraken, including the notion that the creature was sometimes mistaken for an island, and that the real danger to sailors was not the creature itself, but rather the whirlpool left in its wake. However, he also described the destructive potential of the giant beast. It is said that if the creature's arms were to lay hold of the largest man of war, they would pull it down to the bottom. According to him, the Norwegian fishermen often took the risk of trying to fish over the kraken since the catch was so plentiful, hence the saying, "You must have fished on kraken." He also proposed that a specimen of the monster, perhaps a young and careless one, was washed ashore and died. In Alstehag in 1680, by 1755, his description of the kraken had been translated into English. By 1802, the French recognized the existence of two kinds of giant octopus in its History of Natural Generale, an encyclopedia description of mollusks. Montfort claimed that the first type, the kraken octopus, had been described by Norwegian sailors and American whalers, as well as ancient writers, such as Pliny the Elder. The much larger second type, the colossal octopus, was reported to have attacked a sailing vessel from St. Malo off the coast of Angelo. Montfort later dared more sensational claims. He proposed that 10 British warships, including the captured French ship of the line, Ville de Paris, which had mysteriously disappeared one night in 1782, must have been attacked and sunk by giant octopuses. The British, however, knew, courtesy of a survivor from Ville de Paris, that the ship had been lost in a hurricane off the coast of Newfoundland in September 1782, resulting in a disgraceful revelation for Montfort. Since the late 18th century, kraken have been depicted in a number of ways, primarily as large octopus-like creatures, but it has often been alleged that the kraken might have been based on sailors' observations of the giant squids. The kraken is also depicted to have spikes on its suckers. In the earliest description, however, the creatures were more crab-like than octopus-like, and generally possessed traits that are associated with large whales rather than giant squids. Some traits of kraken resemble undersea volcanic activity occurring in the Icelandic region, including bubbles of water, sudden and dangerous currents, and appearance of new islands. Thank you.